Article 11, which the main topics were kind of hard because it was all over the place, but the 5 phenomenon, including the misunderstandings, Wertheimer, and Gestalt psychology. First, the 5 phenomenon. This was regarded as a turning point in psychological thought by protagonists of Gestalt psychology. This was usually misunderstood and was included in the first edition of Mudd's well-known textbook, saying, thus, a succession of still pictures projected one after another at a suitable rate gives us the illusion that movement occurs. This illusion is known as the 5 phenomenon. Part 2. This is the opinions of others on the 5 phenomenon. Writers say this phenomenon of apparent movement was called by Wertheimer the 5 phenomenon. Kafka says the beginning of Gestalt psychology. It formulated a new number of principles constitutive of every kind of psychological theory. Allport says the starting point of Gestalt psychology and seems to have been in the studies of apparent movement reported by Wertheimer in 1912. Woodworth and Vernon both add comments about the pure 5 phenomenon in which there is said to be apparent movement without awareness of an object which moves. Pure movement. Allport's opening statement on the Gestalt theory of perception. Wertheimer reported an experience of pure movement which takes the same course as the optical movement and connects objects, but does not in itself seem to be a moving object. This he called phi movement. Wertheimer's observations included under appropriate conditions, the 5 phenomenon occurred without a phenomenal object being present. The initial and final positions marked by the objective stimuli were present, and between these positions a seen motion occurred, but with no optical supplementation. This pure, without any supplementation, could be demonstrated in a simple way. This observation gave his paper historical significance. The misunderstandings were Wertheimer showing that apparent motion was a unitary experience of a holistic kind drew attention to the fact that this experience is not the sum of a number of elementary experiences. Wertheimer would say that this is a fact, but would not claim any novelty. Also, Wertheimer showing that there is an appearance of movement between the 2 discrete stimulus points drew attention to the fact that there are features of a total experience without a discrete stimulus correlate. Wertheimer would also say this is fact, but not novel. Wertheimer's 3 propositions were: there are experiential properties of a holistic kind for which there is no stimulus correlate. 2. Automatic emergence from the experience of those elements as the Wundtians tended to maintain. 3. Constructions generated by productive, attentive, or other processes of the mind working on the elements as the act psychologists tended to maintain. 4. Whole qualities are immediately given in experience and have primacy over and independence of part qualities, not merely sometimes as anomalous occurrences, but always as a rule. Just